The Buccaneers are 2-0. The Saints now 1-1 after a crazy game yesterday that was sluggish and low scoring and ugly and sloppy, and Tom Brady went the whole half without scoring points, and the Saints weren't getting it done. And then the moment changed in the fourth quarter. And we were talking about it yesterday. It's kind of like the manager in baseball getting kicked out of the game to give his team a little lift. This fracas that unfolded, and I don't know, can we take it all the way to the beginning? Because Tom Brady was gesturing and Marshon Lattimore gestured back at him, and that's what got it all started. And then Brady goes over to Lattimore. Fournette pushes Lattimore. Lattimore pushes Fournette. Here comes Evans. Marcus May was in the middle of it. I thought maybe he was going to get ejected too. That shove by Mike Evans. Good God. You take the full brunt of that frame, that strength, that size. Oh, the camera got a little bit of it too.
Yeah, what'd the camera do to you?
Wait, hey, Mike, what'd that camera do to you? Be nice to the camera. It's expensive. But that was a moment. That was a moment. And obviously Evans and Lattimore got ejected. Both guys need to worry today about a suspension. The league is going to look at it because of their history, because the game was right on the edge of getting out of control. The league is compelled to look at this. We talked about it last night on Football Night in America. Mike Evans was like, hey, the one in 2017 was way worse, and they didn't suspend me then, so they won't suspend me now. Mike, they may, because of the one in 2017 and all the other times you and Lattimore have gotten into it. It's time to nip it in the bud, or who knows what happens when you guys play again later this year. At some point, you got to send the message, and the message could come loudly and clearly from 345 Park Avenue today, Myles.
Well, it should. I mean, frankly, they need to send the message of cut this stuff out, right? Because when Mike Evans is just basically saying, oh, Marshon Lattimore's in a confrontation, let me go finish this. That's the kind of stuff that you can't have, because it's not something that's a part of the game, right? And so we talk about this all the time with like things that happen and penalties that happen. And if it's in the course of the game and if it's in the heat of a football moment, that's one thing. That's not what happened there with Mike Evans and Lattimore. And as you said, like, there is some history there. These dudes have been going at it for years. They are in the same division. They are going to play again. I think it might be a little bit different if they weren't going to play again. Like if this were an AFC team and an NFC team and two dudes who just apparently didn't really like each other, and like they weren't going to see each other ever again until maybe the Super Bowl, or if not that, then 4 years down the road, I think that's a little bit different. But because these guys play twice a year, every single year, and they've had confrontation after confrontation after confrontation, at a certain point, 345 Park Avenue's got to be like, guys, enough. This has got to stop.
Hey, the best thing to do is suspend them both from the rematch. You can't really do that because they could be injured by then or whatever. If a suspension happens, it'll be this weekend. Bucs hosting the Packers and the Saints at the Panthers. Here's Evans after the game talking about the brawl that got him and Lattimore ejected.
No, I get spicy when you come to New Orleans, and they're a good team, physical team. We matched that today.
Tell us what, in your eyes, sparked everything today.
All I seen was, I know we were like trying to get a flag called or whatever, and it wasn't called. And then all I see is Lattimore, he like punched Lenny in the face or something like that, and then like pushed Tom. That's all I saw. So I just pushed him.
Are you concerned that you might not be available next week?
No. That was terrible. 2017, I didn't even get ejected, and that was really a cheap shot. This wasn't.
What an argument. Okay. I was really bad then. Let me tell you, what I did in 2017 was so much worse than what I did yesterday, and they didn't suspend me for that. So if that's the example, I'm okay now. But that's the attitude that needs to stop. That's why he needs to be suspended. I think he actually hurt himself with those comments, and he's basically inviting the NFL to send him a message and teach him a lesson that he's not going to learn until he's suspended. It's not a question of you set the bar here with Marshon Lattimore in 2017 and you didn't get suspended, so everything below that is okay. It's not okay because it's the history. It keeps happening. Plus, at the risk of quoting Mike Gundy, get your facts straight, Mike Evans. Marshon Lattimore didn't touch Tom Brady. Nobody touches the great and powerful Tom Brady. Nobody. He didn't touch him. He mocked him. God forbid we should mock Tom Brady. That's what started it. He didn't touch him. He touched Fournette.
Yeah.
He never touched Brady.
Yeah.
Brady is so badass. He can keep walking up into your face, and he knows somebody else is going to come take care of you. That is what a badass Tom Brady is.
Yeah, it's true. You know, you start messing with the old great and powerful Tom Brady, and one of his the offensive teammates at least is going to come and take care of this stuff. But like, that's the thing. Like, look at where Mike Evans comes from to get to the field to then shove Marshon Lattimore. That's what I'm saying. Like, things that happen over the course of a football play are one thing, but when you are coming off of the sideline and basically saying, I'm going to be extremely confrontational, this is not a part of the game. Look where he comes from. Like, he's got it. He has to make a conscious decision of, oh, Lattimore's in this? Oh, let me go finish this stuff. Like, no, you can't do that. You just can't do that. And that's why I think the NFL really needs to get involved and say, like, look, either... And probably it's not going to help if it's just like through the pocketbook. Like, yeah, you can find a guy. But when he's making the comments that he made in the locker room that we just showed, and it's like, oh, I was worse before and it didn't do anything. Like, now you really are saying, like, yeah, we need to do something that is very clear so that we know this is not going to happen anymore. And like, that's where you're right, Mike. I think that you're inviting the NFL to do more than they might be inclined to do because of the comments you made.
After further review, there was a left hand that did dare to pierce through the bubble that surrounds Tom Brady, like the halo, the glow. What you were talking, whatever you were trying to say earlier about breaking the glass, whatever's behind the glass you were talking about, that's the glow
there you go.
Around Tom Brady. Marshon Lattimore dared to pierce that glow. But Mike Evans had already committed to knocking Lattimore on his ass when that happened. So that wasn't the thing that got Mike Evans to go over there. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.